Alright guys, today I have an interview with the man with the plan. And I'm sure that a lot of you wanted to see this day when I show my husband in the camera and on my videos. And I'm sure a lot of you thought this was like a legend. Or like just like a legend, like Bigfoot, like somebody that you always hear about it but you have never seen. But now you can hear and also see him. And before we get started, I want to say this video is sponsored by Dossier. You have heard me talking about Dossier before, and Dossier, for some of you that have just started watching my channel or it's the first time watching the channel, Dossier is a Italian brand perfume company that they do it inspired on famous brands like Dolce & Gabbana, Carolina Herrera, you name it. All of the famous perfume, they do it with the inspiration, and it's a very good brand of perfume. One good thing about Dossier right now it is that you can find the 5 top bestsellers at Walmart.com or in your regular store. And one good thing today that I'm doing this interview with my husband, it is that I want to present the first time that they have some also men perfume at Dossier. Not just men perfume, but they have unisex, female and male. And this one is a male perfume. And of course, he loves so much rum, and especially Dominican rum. We have Woody Rum, and he is trying that perfume today. So let him try the perfume.
So this Woody Rum, it's inspired by Killian's, Straight to Heaven. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Killian's. I've never heard of Killian's. I think I have seen it, but I don't know nobody that wear Killian's cologne. But let's see what this smells like.
If we expect an honest opinion. It's gonna have like a sweet taste at the beginning, and then it gets strong.
Actually, it has really a subtle smell to it. It's not really that strong to me. You know, I thought it was gonna make me smell like a wino or alcoholic because it was a woody rum.
Oh my God.
But it smells good. It smells good. I didn't realize that they had men's cologne in Dossier. So appreciate it, Dossier. And you know, you're looking for a male ambassador, holler at Norberis and she'll get at me.
Okay, that's a good one. So I'm gonna leave the information down in the description below. Yeah, I know that you are eager for me to start this interview, so let's get started. So first, I'm gonna have him introducing himself, and you know, he's James. Well, he's gonna do it. James, my husband, and I wrote some questions down for him to answer. And of course, I know that you
say you're gonna let me introduce myself and then you introduce me?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, but okay, you're gonna introduce yourself. And I also write down some questions that I have that I think that people would like to know, but I also know that a lot of you have a lot of questions that you can leave down below for him to answer. So now that we have been living here for about 2 years, how did you feel living here in general?
Well, before I tell you how I feel about living here, let me just say how I feel about being on the other side of the camera now.
Okay.
It feels kind of weird that I'm sitting on this side of the camera actually and having this conversation. But in terms of how I feel about living here, I mean, I can give a one-word answer is that, you know, I feel good. You know, I feel comfortable. If I'm comparing it to the U.S., you didn't say whether I need to compare it or should I compare it to the U.S. or could just in general. But in general, I feel great. You know, I feel a lot better and relaxed living here in Dominican Republic. You know, it's just something about the country that, for me, it just relaxes me. You know, for some people, I know it's different, but for me, it's just very calming and relaxing for me. So I enjoy living here.
And was it difficult for you to adjust when we first moved?
I wouldn't say it was difficult to adjust. One thing that I would say that helped me kind of like ease into it was that, you know, we lived here before in 2015, so for a year. So I really had an idea as to, you know, what I was getting into. Even though when we moved in 2015, we were living here, But we would, like you mentioned several times in your video, we were just, all we were doing was working. I never really had a chance to have a feel of the country, because it was always work, home, work, home, work, home thing. So having said that, when we came back to live in 2021, it made it a lot easier to adjust.
Since you've been here living, what would you recommend or advise to someone they want to move so they can adjust safely?
My recommendation, well, my best advice to someone that's moving here is, and that I think that everybody should have regardless, and that's patience. You know, you got to start off with patience. If you don't have any patience, then you're doomed at the beginning. You might as well not even come. You know, you got to have patience. So after you've shown patience, what I would recommend at that point is for you to just kind of relax, because you could get overwhelmed, especially when you move into another country. It's already overwhelming enough that, you know, things are probably done different than what they're done in your own home country. And then on top of that, you add a language barrier where they don't speak the same language, that one can get really, really overwhelmed. So I would just say, you know, be patient, relax, and try to just kind of, you know, take it all in. But at the same time, you know, keep an open mind, because again, you are in another country and you need to adapt to that country. It's not their responsibility to adapt to you. That's what I would say.
Okay. Well, say, would you say, or do you think it was easier for you to adjust just because I'm Dominican?
No.
Oh my God, that no was so.
No.
No.
So the reason I say that is because you're not always with me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, certain things I have to take care of on my own. Now, has it made it easier for me to get some things done? Of course, but as far as adapting to the culture, nah, you know, that's something that you know, can't nobody hold your hand on that one there. You know, either you're gonna adapt to it yourself or, you know, you're not, you know, so, but yeah, in terms of making some things easier, like, you know, when we got our apartment, you know, I don't have to go down there to, you know, turn on the utilities, or I don't have to go and, you know, get the internet turned on and things like that. You know, I just say, hey, you know, I mean, well, you take care of that, or you took care of it. So yeah, you made some things easier, but as far as adapting to the culture, you know, you being Dominican really doesn't have anything to do with it.
Well, I agree too, because if it is gonna be depending on how you feel. I mean, you are a different individual than I am. I mean, you just made it easier to do probably the basic thing, but in order for you to feel comfortable, that's something that is have to do with you, not with me.
Right. But let me say this though, if you're saying it from a standpoint of understanding the culture, I can say yes, that's a benefit, because, you know, we've been together since, you know, 2008. And so, you know, when I came here in 2021, it wasn't my first time eating, you know, La Bandera, or, you know, what else? What's that?
Moro plátano.
Moro and Platano and things like that. So, you know, that wasn't my first time, you know, eating this stuff, and first time hearing, you know, bachata or, you know, salsa and things like that, and just things about the culture. It wasn't my first time. So if you're saying it from that standpoint, yeah, you know, I was used to hearing and eating and the language and things like that. So, you know, if you want to say it from that standpoint, yeah, it was, you know, it was pretty easy to adjust. You know, you being Dominican made it easier to adjust.
No, I was referring in general. If it was, it was easy for you, difficult. That way people can understand, what they can expect if they are looking into move here. What is the thing that you like the most here about the country? And the least. That you like the most and you like the least?
The thing I like most about the country, I would have to say the people. To me, that's what I like. I think that's, when I first traveled here, you know, I was taken by the people. You know, I like the people. You know, I like the way the people interact. You know, it's just something about the people. I think anywhere you go, in terms of, you know, especially, you know, different countries, you know, I don't care how beautiful their beach is, or how beautiful their structure is, how beautiful, you know, even the women are. If the people as a whole are not welcoming and warming, then, you know, to me, at least for me, you know, that's a negative for me. So I have to like the people before I can enjoy anything else about the country. And I like the people. What I like the least about the country is, I don't know, man. You know, I really don't. I mean, of course there are some things that, you know, that irk me, but I don't know if I want to say that I don't like it. Maybe, it actually makes what the country is. But I guess if I had to just pinpoint one thing, I would just say, and I would say here in Santo Domingo, the traffic. But traffic is not all over the country. You know, you go places where it's not a lot of traffic. So if I wanted to change that piece of it and say, hey, I want to deal with traffic, I could go to Punta Cana and there's no traffic in Punta Cana. Not like it here in Santo Domingo. And I don't think anywhere you go on the island, except maybe Santiago, where traffic is, you know, and I don't even think it can compare to Santo Domingo. So that's what I would say that I like least about it, if I had to
pick one
pick
thing.
one.
So what is some of the misconceptions that you typically hear from people about Dominican Republic or about us here, about the people, culture, Dominican Republic? You can pick any.
Personally, I would say the whole greatest hits album everybody plays about Dominican Republic, I think it's all a big misconception. Now, do I think some of those things happen here? Some of those things happen, of course. But to the scale that people make it seem as if it's happening, I personally don't, I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So one of the biggest misconceptions I think that that people have is what they think about the women here. That misconception is blown totally out the water. You know, for people to have an experience with, certain females, or they go to certain areas and they see the way, these females behave, and then they want to cast that same shadow over everybody in the country. It's just, it's really disgusting. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. And not only that it's not right, it's not true. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that broad you had did and was or is that, but that's not the whole country, man. It's not the whole country. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions. And they probably say, you just saying that because your wife Dominican. No, I'm saying it because I know. And my wife don't get me to say anything I don't want to say.
Well, that is true. I mean, ain't nothing that I can make him say, oh, do if he truly believes that is no, what is the way they should be or should be done. So moving on, unless that you have another one, big one that you want to mention, but if you don't have another one, I will say, what was the reason? I know, I think I probably have mentioned it before, that you love here, the city life, you like Santo Domingo. Well, I don't know if I had or haven't in my videos, but what is the reason that you like Santo Domingo?
I like Santo Domingo because I like the city life. You know what I'm saying? Although I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and which is not a real huge metropolitan city, but it is it is the second largest city in Alabama, next to Birmingham. So I just like that city life. I'm not, the quiet campo life is cool. The eco that you talked about in one of your videos is cool. And I'm not really a big beach person. I like to go, but I don't have to, I don't have to walk out my backyard, walk on my front door or back door and be at the beach. It's just not a necessity to me. I like all the convenience of a city. And I'll tell you, Santo Domingo has everything, man. Everything. I love Santo Domingo.
Would you pick another city? I mean, what would it be?
If I picked another city, probably Santiago.
You just moving from one city to another city. Okay, let me reverse that question. Would you pick another lifestyle living, another city? What would it be?
It'll probably be the beach lifestyle. If I was to do anything else, the beach lifestyle. I'm not, like I said, the campo too slow for me. I'm not into that. Have to drive 30 minutes to a pharmacy or a grocery store, or gas station, And that eco stuff, man, I'm good on that. I don't need all the bugs and all that stuff, man. I'm good on that.
Not the bug, but I like the eco. I like the niche.
I mean, going out there and like we went that time to Samaná. That was fine to go, go to a lodge and spend a few days. But to live like that, nah, man. All them salamanders everywhere, man. I can't do it. Guys, I'm telling you, if you come here, man, get used to salamanders. They will make their way in your house.
And what about the hormiguitas?
The ants, oh yeah.
But the ants you can fight it, but the salamander you just have to deal with it, especially depending on where you live. Like that hotel that we went in Punta Cana, it was so many out in the patio. Like if you live in you stay in an area where it's a lot of nature, you will see a lot of them.
Yeah, if you leave your windows open and your doors open, the salamanders coming in, trust me.
They don't do nothing. They just you're a nice creature. They go inside your house. They eat the insects, so that's a good thing about them. They eat the insect that you have inside your house. Anyway,
I don't care about them eating insects. I'll call the exterminator come and exterminate. I don't need them to eat it.
Okay, so let's move on to the other question. And what was the reason that you wanted to move here to the Dominican Republic?
Honestly, I just wanted to do something different. I got tired of living in the United States, man. When I came over here the first time, it was just only for a few days on a business trip, and ever since then, just the thought of coming back living has always stuck with me, and I just wanted to come back. And I know some people again say, "Oh, you just said that 'cause, you probably want to come back because your wife lived here." Actually, she didn't want to come back. At first, I wanted to come back, but she had her reasons why she didn't want to come back, and I understood that. But in order for us to do it, I had to create an atmosphere where, money wasn't going to be an issue when we came back over here. I mean, you don't want to leave a place, when that you're having economic hardships just to come back and have economic hardships again. So, we had to create an environment, or I had to create an environment where I could say, hey, you don't have to worry about this when we go back over there. This is what the lifestyle gonna look like when we get back over here, not like it was before.
Yeah, that was right. I wasn't at the moment that he wanted to come, because he always wanted to come. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to move over here. I was just always hesitating. Like, you have always that feeling if you have Dominican friends or you have spoke with Dominican, even if you have a wife or girlfriend, we always, when we move to places like United States and then we want to come back, if we wasn't born rich and we have to come back, we always have that in our mind, like, what I would come back, I mean, how is gonna be the life? What I'm gonna go back to the same that I was before I came? Do I have to find a job over there? And we know how hard it is to find a job over here, so that was always on the back of my mind. So before we move to the next question, remember this video is sponsored by Dossier. Go and check the website. It is always something going on that we need to buy a gift for somebody, probably somebody's birthday. Or if you know, what is it coming up that you need to buy something? Remember, your mother is Mother's Day, which is in about 2 months. So go and check their website. So moving to the next question. Is there anything that you miss about the US?
No. Absolutely nothing.
Are you sure? I mean, that was a general question. Nothing you miss from the US?
I only miss one thing, like me, you talked about it, you mentioned in your video, is that I miss the snacks. I miss my Crunchy Munch. I miss my chili cheese Fritos. And, just things like that, that part of the U.S. I miss. But in terms of, everything else, I don't miss it. Every time when I go back and visit, I'm always eager to come back. So, not really.
And that is true about the snacks. I mean, he's recently about a month or 2 months ago, he went back to the US and he sent me a picture of all his snacks that he loved, and he went over there right away to get it. And I have a picture, I'm gonna put that on this video below. He sent me a picture of all his snacks that he loved.
I put it in the video.
Oh, you already put it in one video?
But one thing though, I found my Crunchy Munch at Unidos.
Oh, okay, so now he found one of his favorite snacks here in Unidos, which is a like hardware store. I mean, like no, it's a hardware store here. Almacenes Unidos here in Santo Domingo.
Yeah. Now I just need to find my chili cheese fries, which I don't think they're gonna get that over here. Dominicans don't.
Well, we'll do good with the spicy.
No things
I
like
mean, some
that.
people we like little spicy, little spicy, but we don't have too much spicy when we can enjoy our food. I mean, I don't like too much spicy. I can tolerate a little, but not too much. So the next question is, would you recommend to anybody that want to move to the country to come over here and try to find a job to survive?
Negative.
Why would you recommend anybody to do that?
Number one, the wages. And I know a lot of people like to talk about, oh, the low wages and this and that. But, you know, when you think, if you really think about it, and I know we talked about doing a video, it's all relative. You know, when you look at a Dominican making, you know, $400, $500 a month, the only thing as an American, you're thinking about your rent being $1,500 a month, $1,000 a month. And they don't live in places like that. Not the average Dominican, not the typical Dominican. You know what I'm saying? They places around, you know, $200, $300, $400 a month. So, which still makes it, you know, they're making $500 a month, still makes it a little difficult if they're paying $400 a month in rent. But anyway, that's beside, you know, I don't want to get too far in there because you got a video coming up about that. But, I mean, I just don't recommend it, man. To me, you know, to leave one rat race to come and join another rat race doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. You know, because you hear Americans say, "Hey, I'm leaving a rat race," which I get it, but every country has their own rat race. You know what I'm saying? And when I left the U.S., I got out of the rat race and I came over here, not to join the rat race, but to, you know, kind of to enjoy life. And if you're coming over here and you're working and you're in the rat race, then I don't know. It's gonna be kind of difficult for you, or challenging, should I say, for you to join. To enjoy your life. But let me say this, because CBN. Let me say this though, because I think this may be important to say too, because and again, it's all relative, and it really depends on the type of person. I remember when we first moved here, and I was walking, you know, I walk around the neighborhood. Well, I wasn't walking around the neighborhood. I was walking to the Comado, and I heard a guy speaking English, and I started speaking to him and talking to him, and he was an American, of course, and I forgot where he was from, but he was working at a call center nearby, and I asked him about why he came from the U.S. to Dominican Republic to work, and I was asking him, you know, he was working 6 days a week. I think it was like 8 to 10 hours a day, you know, a lot of overtime, you know, and he was like, well, you know, it was better for him. He would rather live the rat race here because the quality of life is still much different than living in the United States. So he had no problems with, you know, getting up every morning or every evening. I think he was working second shift at the time, and, you know, every afternoon going to work on the second shift. He thought it was okay. So like I say, it's all relative. Me personally, I wouldn't want to do it. I would rather stay in the U.S. if I'm going to have to work a 9-to-5 type job. I'd rather stay there and not be in another country doing it. So that's my answer.
What do you think about the driving here in Dominican Republic? You have mentioned it twice here in this video. I don't know why I'm even asking that question, but I want to know, what do you think?
Man, there's a lot of bobbing and weaving, man. A lot of bobbing and weaving.
Oh my God.
The driving is, again, it's really a lot of bobbing and weaving, I'm telling you. It's crazy. It's crazy. I tell you, it's crazy. I seen a comment on one of your videos. I can't remember what the guy said. I wish I can. It was really funny. But it's insane. It's insane. But I will say this. Once you live here and you start to drive, this is gonna sound crazy. It kind of makes sense.
Crazy what makes
I mean, it's almost like organized chaos. Like when you're coming out, when you come over here for the first time, it's just chaotic. It's chaos. I mean, it's a free fall. But once you live here, it's kind of like an organized chaos. they know what they're doing. And I've learned how to drive here, and I mean, it used to bother me a lot when I first got here, but now I drive how they are. They drive. You know, you got to drive.
Just crazy. That's what you need to do. That's what I do.
Yeah, just drive crazy. You know, the only thing you got to be careful about, especially me, you know, when I go back and I drive in the U.S., you know, you can't be busting no U-turns in the middle of the street now.
He be doing that here.
I bust a U-turn in the middle of the street here. I go down a one-way. If ain't nobody coming, I go down a one-way. I back up in the middle of the street. Nobody's gonna do anything, and I have to remember when I'm in the States, man, you may not do that because you may not make it back to the Dominican Republic.
But that if it's not aimed around, don't do that if you see the transit police. If you can no pride. I know the people always be saying that you here, you can do whatever you want to do, you can pay some money, but something that I have to say here, the AMAT, the transit police, now they call DGZ, you can no pride them.
Yeah, I don't recommend you doing that.
If you do something wrong, they're gonna give you a ticket. It doesn't matter. You can no give them.
Yeah, don't do it on the main street. No. I'm saying like on the back street.
All depending on the hour. At night they are no hour. You do whatever you wanna do. If it's a neighborhood where you don't see them around, you can use a U-turn back up. But if you see an A-mate, don't do that. You can get a ticket.
Yeah. And I got a ticket too. I still ain't paid it.
Oh, I have a few tickets I haven't paid either. So be okay. I have a few tickets that I have to pay. Okay. Yeah. Moving on to another question, and I know that we read a lot of comments because a lot of our comments that we read together. And we read a lot of comments on people saying that when they come over here, they be target and scam. I want to hear you talk about that.
Man. To be honest with you, some people they may not even like what I'm about to say. I'm not saying people are not targeted here and they're not being scammed here. But what I'm saying is that I don't understand how it's happening like on a constant basis. You know, when I think about when I was living in Florida, let's go to Alabama, Florida. The things that I did on a day-to-day basis, I mean, I went to work, you know, I put gas in my car, I went to the grocery store, we went to restaurants. I mean, I don't understand unless you're doing so many other things that are not out of the norm. I really just don't understand how you get scammed. Even here, like, you know, I go a lot of places without her. You know, when I go to the gas station price is the gas station price. When I go to pull up and put gas in my car, the price right there, I'm paying that. I go to supermarkets. They scan the item. They're not scanning and say, oh, this is an American, let me change the scanning system. It's scanning the price. You know, I got a gym that I go to on the website. It tells me how much it costs. They're not reading my IP address and say this is an American guy that, you know, let's charge him more. When I go to the restaurant, I have a menu. As a matter of fact, the menu is online, so you see the menu. I just don't understand when people say they're getting scammed every day. To me, I'm asking, what are you doing every day that you're encountering people that are scamming you? Because I'm just not encountering those people. You know, and I don't know. I just don't know. I need somebody to tell me, what are you doing every day of the week that you're running across or you're needing somebody to do something for you or needing a service where it's not posted anywhere or it's not a credible business. I just, let me know, because I don't understand it.
And it's so funny because he always asks me that question. Like, I should have an answer. I say, you asking the wrong person. I'm from here. I don't even understand it. And the only thing that I can say, that I can think of, is that most of these people are around tourist area. Tourist area are dealing with people where you do I would say money exchange, where it's not like a business. They have like machine, credit card, prices registered and things like that. There is just told that they just tell you a price by the mouth and then you just pay in cash, and that's what they probably take advantage of you because they are you are a tourist, and that happen in tourist area. It is a lot of places here where they will play you like that. But something that I always tell him that this thing happen not just to Americans or foreigners. That thing happened to a Dominican. If I go to a place that I'm not around that area, I just ask the price, just mouth, they're gonna look at me, they're gonna just tell me a price, especially if they believe that I have like Lula, like somebody that have money. They just gonna give me a price, whatever comes to their mind. So it's not because you are a tourist or a foreigner or an American. It is because that's gonna happen to you here in some places, and even to Dominicans. I always explain that to him. That is not have nothing to do with it being tourists or Americans sometimes. It is just the way some people are.
Yeah, because even here, I go to the car wash. When I pull up in the car wash, it has right there, Sencillo, Lavado, 500 pesos. You can't tell me anything else when I see it says 500 pesos. When I go and get my oil changed in my car, it says, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 pesos, whatever it is. You can't tell me anything else, so I personally haven't been scammed since I've been here. And I've been living here 2 years, and I go out and I move around like a local. And nobody has ever scammed me. And don't nobody know that my wife is Dominican, And even if they did, they still wouldn't care if they wanted to scam me. So that part I don't understand. Like she said, it's probably because a lot of these people stay in tourist areas, and they're doing business with these mom and pop shade tree type people. And then when I say shade tree, that don't mean shade tree. Well, from where I'm from, shade tree is just like more like a freelancer guy. When we wanted to get our car fixed, say go call the shade tree mechanic. It ain't like he was a shady guy. He was just, we call that because this is the guy that's under the shade tree just sitting there waiting on work to come. So when I say shade tree, I want you to think that they're shady. That's not what I mean when I say shade tree. So, but I think these people are doing business with those type of people where they're really not legitimate businesses, and guys are being taken advantage of. Like I say, I'm not saying that it's not happening, because obviously it is. But I do also understand and believe that sometimes people just don't understand the cost of things also. And when people come and travel here, they think that everything is supposed to be dirt cheap. They think when they come over here, that, a McDonald's combo is going to cost you, cost you $10 in the US, and it's going to cost you $3 here. And it's just not going to happen. It's going to cost you the same thing. So they feel like when the prices is similar to what they're charging in the US, they think they're being scammed or targeted, and that's just not the truth, man. A lot of people just don't take time to understand the culture. So that's my answer to that. But I don't want people to think that I don't believe it's happening, because, and I know I said that in the beginning, like I don't believe that it's happening to the rate that people are saying that it's happening. I think a lot of it has to do with people don't understand the culture enough, and then they're also not making wise decisions and doing business with the right people.
So what do you think about the Dominican Republic people in general?
I love
the people.
I love them. I love the people. I love the people. I love the culture. I don't know if I can add anything to that. I love the people.
What about females? What did you think about the women here in Dominican Republic?
I love them too. I love them.
So you don't have anything to add to that?
I do. When you say what I think about them, what do you mean? Give me some specifics.
No, but just a general question. If that's all you have to say, that's fine.
But honestly, I think the females here they're beautiful. I think they're kind, they're welcoming. Keep in mind, I'm talking about a typical Dominican woman. I'm not talking about the women that you guys are, that's in Sosua and Boca Chica. I don't hang out in those places. So the type of women I'm talking about are regular Dominican women, and they're beautiful, they are nice, they're welcoming, and they're friendly. And when I see these videos where people are saying things about them, I'm like, man, you guys have no idea. Trust me, you have no idea. You're dealing with the wrong women, man. The wrong women. Trust me.
And for some of the guys, they usually ask that question because I have that question before plenty of time. Where they can go that you believe, have you been out here with me by yourself, because you've been out here by yourself a lot. And when they ask the question, where did I can meet a Dominican women? Where do you think the people can go or guys can go to meet people, or meet women?
Where they can go to meet women?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wake up, go out your front door. Look to your left, look to your right, look in front of you, and they there.
You being silly? You serious? Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
They asking where they can go. I mean,
they everywhere.
you don't know where they're staying. You say, look at your front, look at your back, you look at your side. No, I mean, like, you don't know where they are staying. Like, is they in a place or?
I don't care where they staying. They got a door.
Okay.
They walk out that door.
That's his answer.
They look to the left. They look to the right. They everywhere. But if you want me to be a little bit more specific, I would say, I'm gonna tell you guys. You know, when I go to the supermarket, they there. They there. And I know that sounds crazy. The supermarket, yeah, they there.
What else you go to they there?
Well, I don't go many places, but even when we go to restaurants, they there. They there. Colmados, they're there.
The mall.
The mall.
The gym, even in the gym, they there.
Yeah. The gym, they're there. The mall is funny because, you know, I rarely say the mall because when I was a kid, that's where we used to hang out to get women. It's almost like the mall is typical for people to go to.
Okay. No, but it's a
women.
place where
But
you
it
know
is. It's
people
a whole
go, a whole bunch of
mall.
women because they all in the mall buying things. So yeah, it's gonna be all of them.
But I never, for some reason, I never recommend. But you're right, they're there. They're at the mall. But like I say, with minimum effort, step out your front door, look to your left, look to your right. In front of you, they're there.
Okay.
We're gonna do a video about that right there.
Of course, I mean,
we'll do
this
a
is the
video.
first one, but this one is not gonna be the last one.
Yeah. We'll do a video about, you know, what, you know, that topic. Yeah.
Okay.
If
So-
y'all want to see it, we'll do it.
Okay, just let us know if you want to see it. But this was the question that I have right now. Now I have at least probably 2 or 3 more questions that I didn't tell him about it that I'm just gonna ask, because this is some of the type of the questions or the comments that I've been reading on the channel. Yeah, I wanna ask him. Just he don't know about those questions, of course, but I wanna hear his reaction or his answer to those questions. And it is how, I mean, what do you think about my family? How do you feel about my family?
In what way?
In general, I'm asking that question because I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna say that question, because I typically hear people talking about, oh, when you marry a Dominican woman or you in relationship with a Dominican woman, you are in a relationship with the entire family. You have to take care of the entire family. So I want you to tell me, what did you think about my family? In general, how they are in general.
So what I think about your family is, of course, I like your family, and I think you know that. The things I used to hear, or you know, I heard about, like you mentioned, when people say, well, when you marry a Dominican woman, you got to take care of the whole family. You know, I didn't find that to be true. You know, when you and I got together, you know, I didn't find that to be true. And guys, you got to understand that when I met her was in 2008, actually 2007 is when I actually met her. And YouTube didn't come around in 2005. And the only videos was for the first 10 years of YouTube. I wouldn't say 10 years, at least the first 5 or 6 years of YouTube, one number of cat videos and kites. So, you know, nobody was doing videos and vlogs about Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know about Dominican Republic. And I didn't start watching content about Dominican Republic until 2015, when I started watching Russell, Taylor Made. So all this stuff about, you know, all these things I hear now about Dominican Republic, the reason why I don't I kind of look at it with a side eyes because I've never experienced these things that people are saying. You know, I didn't. You know, when her and I met, she didn't say, "Hey, well, you got to take care of my whole family," and she didn't expect me to do it. Do we help her family out? Of course we do. We help her mom out, and we help. You know, sometimes we help her dad out. But I don't have to take care of, you know, we're not expected to take care of her aunts, cousins, great grandmama, grandmama, and all that. Where people get that from, I have no idea. And if you're, I mean, maybe I shouldn't use this word, but but if you're dumb enough to make that a condition, or you being with somebody that you got to take care of, you know, all those people, then, hey, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you're better without them.
Yeah, you don't need to be with that person if
Right.
you have to take it. Yeah, I always say, do it to the conditions that some of Dominicans live, because that is no, I mean, that is a reality. A lot of Dominican people are not born rich. They don't have a lot of money. It's also true that, like I said in my last video, not all Dominicans are poor. We have a whole bunch of rich people here, rich neighborhoods. But it's also true that a lot of Dominicans don't have a lot of money. So in some cases, when you meet somebody, they do it to the condition that some family members, I will not say all of them, leave. Sometimes you want to help. If that's something that we have, it don't matter what we are, even if we don't have much, whatever we have, we're gonna share with whatever needed from our family. If I see my brother that needs something, I will try to help. If I need my mom that needs something, especially my mom and my dad, those are number one for a person here is mom and dad. You always gonna help them because here all people don't work. So you always have to, especially if we don't come from a rich family, if we have mom, dad, and grandma, those are the people that we're gonna first help. And we all gonna try to choose something, even if you're at work and I say, I'm gonna send some to my grandma and send some food to my grandma. And then you have, either if you have your sister or your brother, if you feel like they need something, some help from you, we're gonna do it.
You know, they make it sound like that it's like some type of monthly obligation. You know, someone, if, you know, the aunt say, hey, you know, can you help me with, you know, my light bill, you know, you give them $50, $60, or they just need $50 or $60 or 3,000 pesos, and that's something, you know, that's something different. But they act like that you got to take care of the monthly expenses of 5 or 6 households, which is ridiculous.
Now, some people take it for their advantage. That happened. There's some people will play that card just because probably sometimes they want to use it to get some benefits. Yeah, I would say that happened too. I will not be naive to say that never happened or that is not the case, because yeah, you will have some people that will try to play that card just because they want some money. I mean, yeah, that just happens sometimes. So guys, I think that will be the end for our interview as of today, as of right now. This was the first one, but it won't be the last.
You know, I'm thinking that they're probably saying right now, but you didn't ask him this. Why you didn't ask him that? So, but you know, we tried to think of, you know, some of the things that you guys may wanted to hear coming from me, but
that's good.
But this was more of an interview about my experience here. It wasn't about anything
else, but that's good, because now if you have questions that you want for him to answer, you just leave it down below, and then we can do another one with the questions that you really want to hear, because at this point I just write down some questions that I think the people would like to know.
That was related to my experience here, right?
But I don't know what you want to know. Like if you have any questions that you really want to know, just leave it down below, and of course we can do another one, and then we can ask the questions that you want to know. So I remember, and we can go without talking about the sponsor of this video, and it's Dossier. Very great perfume. I'm tired to say it. You don't have to believe it. You just go and try. But this is a great perfume. And like I said before, this is a brand, Italian brand name perfume that is inspired by a famous popular perfume. And the good thing about them is that they are very affordable. They are $29.99, $49.99, depending on the perfume that you get. And they have for female, male, and they have unisex. But they are great. And you can check the website, or you can check a local Walmart to find the 5 most best seller, or the 5 best sellers that they have. And you can go to the local Walmart, or you can check it on walmart.com. So this is all what I have for right now. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share. And I will see you in my next one. Or we will see you in my next one.
Hey, and I'm gonna put some of this stuff on, man, and I'm gonna spray it all over me to see how much you like it. All right.
Okay. Okay. Okay,
Peace.
see you later. Bye-bye. And one good thing about Dossier now, it is that you can buy their top 5 perfume at Walmart.com. Or you can find it at the store too, right? Yeah. What good news about Dossier it is that now you can buy their 5 top perfume at Walmart.com, or you can find it at your regular store. So,
Is that how you pick that perfume? I mean, don't call it perfume. It's cologne. But it's gonna be a man. It's cologne. It's not perfume. But
Okay.
is that how you pick the cologne based on rum?
no, I didn't pick it based on rum, based on you.
Okay.
I thought about you when I picked that. They already say wood and rum. I know that you love rum, so I just picked it because of you. So, can you please introduce yourself?
Well, I'm James. I'm Norberis. That sounds crazy. That sounds so crazy, man.
Why sound crazy?
Do it again. Yeah.